The woman next door became more than a neighbor. When I was 12, my parents, Mark and Linda Miller, started leaving me home alone every weekend while they went on marriage retreats. They'd stock the fridge, leave $40 on the counter, and remind me not to answer the door. At first, it felt fun pizza for breakfast, no bedtime, video games all night. But soon, it got scary, especially one weekend when the power went out during a storm. I sat in the dark, terrified, until our neighbor, Mrs. Peterson, noticed my flashlight and invited me to her house. That was the first time I felt what a real family weekend could be, like board games, home-cooked meals, warmth. From then on, I often escaped to the Petersons whenever my parents left. Mrs. Peterson clearly knew what was going on, and eventually, she involved Child Protective Services, CPS. One Friday night, she showed up with a caseworker, who told my parents that leaving a kid alone for entire weekends wasn't just irresponsible, it was illegal. My parents tried to downplay it, but CPS opened an investigation. From then on, everything changed. My parents turned cold toward me, blaming me for ruining our family. They tried to put on a show, big dinners, fruit bowls, open doors so neighbors could see, but no one bought it. Kids at school called me the neighborhood orphan. The Petersons, however, stood by me. One day, Mrs. Peterson slipped me a card with the CPS hotline and told me to call if I was ever scared or in danger. Not long after, my parents began locking me inside the house when they went out. No food, no phone, no way out. One Friday, I finally used that card. Within 20 minutes, CPS and police arrived, broke the door down, and took me to safety. My parents lost custody that same night. For the first time, I felt real relief. I stayed with Mrs. Peterson while CPS figured things out, and she eventually applied for legal guardianship. At the hearing, my parents didn't even show up. The judge granted Mrs. Peterson full custody, calling my parents negligent and unfit. From that point on, she was my mom in every way that mattered. She was there for birthdays, school trips, report cards, and every nightmare at 2 a.m. Years later, my biological parents tried to reappear. They asked for visits, and I agreed. It was awkward. No apologies, no real connection. Just two broken people talking about their new city. I realized then they'd never really change. Still, Mrs. Peterson encouraged me to make my own choice, even if that meant forgiving them. Now, I'm grown, in college, and I never miss a Sunday lunch with Mrs. Peterson. She's older now, with white hair and slower steps, but she's still my mom. My parents gave me neglect, but she gave me love, protection, and a real home. Looking back, I don't regret anything. I may not have been born to her, but she's the reason I survived, and the reason I learned what family really means.